Sam and I, we met freshman year of college. I mean, it was out of the gate. We were little babies, stepping out into the world. And he was one of my first friends at Angelo State. I mean, I'm going to cry. It's going to happen. The first time I met Sam, I guess it was at Young Life, which is the whole Christian religious group in San Angelo where you mentor kids, right? So the first thing I knew about Sam was that he wanted to help younger kids. He wanted to be an example for other kids. I've been talking about him for like 2 days. He's larger than life, right? He was the tall guy. He was the silly guy. In the pictures I sent you, one of the biggest things he did was always wear a cat shirt. And he was just the silly, goofy guy. He always wanted to make people smile. He wanted to make everyone laugh. He would be the butt of every joke if it made people happy. He was just that guy. And they always say the good die young. And this is exactly true. Sam was one of the best men I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Yeah. Hard. He even through college, like him and his wife Morgan, they were friends. I posted last night on Facebook, like Sam was a friend first. He was so much more. He was a deputy, he was, a Christian man, but he was a friend first, and he was a true friend. He was that guy that he would be there for you no matter what. I remember, I'm tired in class and he would bring me a coffee just to pick me up. And he was just that guy that would go out of his way and do little things to make your day better. Even if it didn't make his day better, he would do anything for someone else. And he was that way with Morgan too. We all grew up at Angelo State together, and they always were just best friends. And he was friends with everybody. And I think that's what, I can't speak for Morgan, but I know that's what she loved most about him, was just that he was the nice guy.
Have you kept in contact with them over the years as well?
Absolutely. Sam and I message a little bit. It's one of those things, I'm distant. We're college friends. We'll always have those memories of growing up in the 4 years we had together. And I loved watching him be a dad to Maggie, little Magnolia. That was always a dream of his, is I knew he'd be an amazing dad. So being able to watch him get into that role and become a deputy and being able to really shine as his true self of serving others, I love being able to watch that. We haven't been able to hang out over the last few years, but I remember graduating together, and it's all those little life moments I was able to share with him that I won't forget. From the youngest age I knew him, at 18, he wanted to help others. He wanted to help kids. He wanted to volunteer. We volunteered all the time with different groups. It was Young Life was our thing. It was always, every Monday night or Wednesday night, I believe, we would help all these kids in San Angelo from Central and Lakeview, all the different high school kids, and just he wanted to make their days better and take them on trips and take them to lunch and just help these high school kids become better people and not, cause any problems in the community. So he started from a young age just needing to help others, and going into the role of a deputy was exactly what Sam was meant to do. He was meant to serve that area and stay around that area. It's what he loved to do, and he loved the people. And even in this situation, it shouldn't have happened, and this should not have happened at all. This is not something we should be talking about. But even the way he died was the way he was meant to, in a way. He was serving the community.
But how is the community going to be impacted by him not being here anymore?
Oh man, that is a big void. That is a big hole. Sam's leaving a big hole. I can't even imagine the hole that's left with Morgan and Maggie, but he was a big part of the church there in Paul Ann Church, and they love that area. And you're not going to find another Sam. Like, it's just, I think the hardest part for me is knowing that he would have been such a good dad, and now Maggie doesn't get that. And I think that's been the hardest pill for me to swallow, is knowing how much like Magnolia would have been like the biggest daddy's girl, and Sam would have loved that. So you can't even, he was robbed of all of that because of this, and Morgan was robbed. And yeah, the community was robbed, because you would have had one of the best men protecting you for years, and he would have given his life to this community forever. And he ended up doing so anyways.